Welcome to God's Favourite Shepherds, a collection of 39 short stories rounding out the lives of mainly lesser-known Bible characters, with many of the stories ending with a short quiz. Listen now to the author of God's Favourite Shepherds, Bill Ackland.
Today's story is entitled The Stranger, God Unrecognised. The story is based on Luke chapter 24. In the gathering Judean gloom, two ardent followers of Jesus trudged weary along the rocky road that led from Jerusalem to Emmaus. They were bewildered. They were confused. Cleopas and his brother, or was it his wife, had just experienced the worst few days of their lives. The man Jesus, who they knew was most certainly the Messiah, had suffered the worst death of all, the excruciating agony of crucifixion. The Romans had nailed the Lord to the cross at the urging of the religious leaders and the screams of the demonic mob. What was to become of the kingdom of heaven that he had taught about so often? No one had spoken the wonderful words of life as he had. No one had healed the sick, fed thousands, walked on water, cast out demons, or raised the dead as he had. They truly believed he was the Son of God. How was it possible that he could die? To add mystery to the confusion, a rumour was heard that very morning. Some women followers of Jesus said they had seen the Saviour alive. What were they to make of that? So absorbed were they in their animated conversation, anyone nearby could hear what they had said. Suddenly, a stranger caught up with them. In the settling darkness, they could not see his features. That didn't matter, for as fellow travellers out in the countryside, they were glad of some company. The stranger could not help notice the sadness of the two that enveloped them like a fog. He asked them, "What terrible event has happened that has made you so sad?" Cleopas and his companion couldn't believe that someone so near to Jerusalem could not have heard of the tumultuous events leading up to the Sabbath. In a torrent of words they told the man what had happened to the one they believed was the Messiah. It was now the third day since that dreadful preparation day when the hopes were dashed. Who could deny them their time of grief and sadness? This was an opportunity for the stranger to explain to them from the Scriptures that the very things that had made them so sad were foretold in the sacred writings. He quoted from the Psalms and many of the prophets. It should not have been a mystery to them that the Messiah had been put to death. Furthermore, he was to be raised and later would go back to the Father. By now Cleopas and his fellow disciple had arrived at their home. As it was dark now, they invited their new friend to share the evening meal with them. They urged him to stay overnight before resuming his journey in the morning. He accepted their kindness, and when the meal was on the table before them, he picked up some bread, turned his eyes toward heaven, and thanked God for the food. His host suddenly realised it was Jesus himself who had walked with them, explained the reasons why what had transpired must happen. As they looked at the Saviour, transfixed, he disappeared from their sight. Gone was their weariness, gone was their hunger for the evening meal. They must tell the disciples back in Jerusalem of this wonderful experience. Jesus had walked with them, two little-known followers of his. He had made very clear to them the meaning of the recent events that had so saddened them. They were transported from sadness to joy, a joy that, as they hurried to share with the believers in Jerusalem. The road that was so rocky now seemed paved with the smoothest of stones. And now a little quiz for you. How many people were walking along the rocky road in this story? Name the two places mentioned in the story. Do we know the name of at least one of the followers of Jesus? How many sat down to the evening meal? Where did the two go to before they even ate their meal?
You've been listening to God's Favoured Shepherds, a book with 39 short stories rounding out the lives of mainly lesser-known Bible characters. If you have any comments or questions, or to obtain a copy of this book, give us a call within Australia on 02 4973 3456 or send an email to radio@3abnaustralia.org.au. We'd love to hear from you.